Good morning to you. It is 12 p.m. on Tuesday, the 2nd of June. I'm live for the hour. I'm going to be doing some readings for anyone that would wish today. As I usually do, I've been trying to get out. I've been trying to do this every week for a while now, and it's really nice. Actually, it's really nice. Some of the only chance and opportunity I get to speak to a few of you that are not in my groups or not in the classes or not in the sessions I do, and it's nice to get on here and see some of you and on YouTube as well, and perhaps in the next coming weeks I can figure out how to get on Instagram and so on. A lot of people say to me I don't look at my age, but in terms of using technology, I am very much my age. Just adjust that here. See, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. I used to try and get on Instagram Live while I was doing this on Facebook and YouTube, and then the phone goes on auto lock or screensaver or whatever it is. So I just kind of gave up on that. We've just had a massive blue moon. I don't love talking about astrology because I kind of feel that one's own agency can get a bit lost with that. So I don't like giving a power away to celestial things in that way. But it has been a big one. I've got to say, it really has been a big one. I'm still feeling it a couple of days later. I mean, with every full moon, there's an envelope of time before and after, but it's been a big one. Must say, it has been a big one. And really, that whole latter part of May was as well quite a big meaning brought up to the surface in a very elegant way. I have to say, brought up a lot to the surface, and in a way that gave us a chance, I feel, to do something deliberate and intentional with. And it's not always like that either. Not always like that. Now, I was asked a question. I see you're there, Natasha, and got a couple of questions here. So we'll get to these. Excuse me, just taking a drink here. Take a drink here. Let me see if I can remember what the question was. What was the question? Oh dear, I should have written this down. I'll turn that down. Oh, how do you deal with someone who often vents on you or complains to you? How do you deal with that person? I've just been asked that. There are three things you can do about that. And here are some suggestions. The first one I suggest is you. Well, I guess it would. I should say it depends what environment you're in, whether you're on the phone or whether you're in person with them. My first suggestion is you say, listen, I don't quite have the bandwidth right now. Can we talk about it later? Right? I will explain this in a minute. Second, you can try saying, I've got to get on the phone in like 7, 8, 9 minutes, just so you know. And third thing you can try is it's a weird thing to say, but actually complaining back to them. Let me explain what happens here, right? You're in a situation where you're not actually dealing with the root of a relationship issue. You're just kind of managing it because there's a pre-existing dynamic that's taking place there. You've been selected by this other person, by your friend, as someone that they can vent onto, they can complain to. That's what's kind of been set there. And you need to adjust that. You need to adjust that. So the fairest way to you would be to be honest and direct and say, I don't have the bandwidth right now, right? That's either going to work or not, depending how you feel about your own boundaries. The second, now it's maybe not an integrity, but you say, I have to go in 10 minutes because you've already set and seeded that I have a certain amount of time to do anything other than that, right? And the third it's an interesting one, is you complain back to them about something that's going on in your life. And why shouldn't you be able to, right? You're friends. It's supposed to be an equal dynamic, except it is not an equal dynamic because you've been selected by your friend as someone that they can vent onto you. And there is a subtext to the relationship that they get to do that to you. And so when you turn that on its head and you say, well, hey, we are friends and I can vent onto you also, all of a sudden, they don't get the same hit from you. They don't get the same fix from you. You become less exciting as a person that they can vent onto, that they can release into and discharge onto, okay? That is probably the best way to reset the relationship and stop being someone that you are vented onto. But you've got to know that it is yours, that you've got to know that it is yours to do something about. You've got to know that boundaries for you are a way of expressing your own self-worth. All right. So that said, let's get going here. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. All right, so let me answer Natasha here first of all then. And Joshua, can I please get guidance and advice for the next 2 weeks? Let's get some music on as well. Okay, Natasha, these 2 weeks very much go together, it seems, and will be, I imagine, speaking in the next week anyway, right? This week right now does not look like a particularly easy one for you. Miscommunications and what you do with that in your head, right? It's the not fun stuff. But I am drawn to this card that's showing up, the Queen of Swords, right? Which is where I was kind of just talking about that, really. That's when we give ourselves permission to stop being I'm going to do the fingers, nice all the time, right? You know, when we're nice all the time, there's that unspoken offer we're making to someone else, like, come on, show up better, right? Show up better. I'm not going to be firm right now. I'm not going to be hard right now. Show up better. That's, I think, what we're doing when we try and be nice. But it does not always work. In fact, it usually doesn't work. So I think people push us for as far and much as they can get. So anyway, that is the sort of week I'm seeing for you here that pushes you to a point where you are firm and, dare I say, cutting. Okay. Now, next week in a positive way is a building on that. You know, you're walking into next week. That is the week of the 7th, 8th-ish. With a bit of frustration, okay, with a bit of frustration, I could understand there would be, but we've got the graduation of the Queen of Swords into the King of Swords, and this is not a female. This is not a female male concept here. It's more the symbology of the masculine here that, quote unquote, finds it easier to convey a boundary, show a boundary. I'm sure someone will get offended with me saying that, but let me be very clear. I did not say it was a male or female thing. I'm talking about the masculine and the feminine, of which we all have both. And with you expressing your boundaries in a much more comfortable way, things flow easier. Okay. So this week is just one of those weeks to get through the grace of spirituality as it I haven't got a way to finish that sentence. The grace of spirituality is we walk through the world with a bit more ease from detachment, taking things less personally. Okay. All right. Where do we get to? Hi, Lisa. Prash, can I get a message? Prash, this is looking pretty nice, actually. When I'm asked a very general, open question like, "Can I get a message?" I always look for what the action is, because I look at this spread and I don't see challenge. Okay, maybe you might say, why do you look for challenge in the first place? I look for challenge because everyone gets motivated by challenge. You don't get motivated by good things. It kind of goes in one ear out the other often. But I like what I see here. Meaning. I see groundedness here. I see opportunity here. Okay. I see you in a receptive enough state to have fun, to let things come to you, and to do things you wish to do. And so what I'm missing is an action here. And I'm just going to put one card down and see if there is anything, because sometimes the whole point is that there isn't. Right. Okay, I am gonna impart something here, which is, as I see for you here, Presh, things are in a good space, a good place. I don't know if you are in a relationship or not. This looks like a good time to enter into one, but even if it's not that, the way that you magnify this sort of thing around you is by being with other people. Okay, going out, doing things socially, meeting with people, talking with people in person. I'm someone that very much likes my solitude. I really do. I'm an introvert, and there are the times that I can be with people and experience and generate much more energy. That's how I see that going. So this is not a challenge time for you. No. Let's go on. Lisa, what is coming on my path regarding my love life, please? Okay. And then I'll go to you, Jenilyn, and then you, Michelle. And change the music. Yeah. Right. So. Lisa. Yeah. Lisa, as a human, I want to say really soon, immediately, but that's not the read I'm getting here. I'm seeing it's going to be a while. And maybe I'm projecting a little bit onto you. Maybe you're like, yeah, fine with that. Fine. But the context, the trajectory I'm seeing here is there is so much not work to do, not onerous, but there's so much to be experienced and moved through yourself. Okay, to the point that entering into a relationship, I do see a window. I do see a window, but I actually don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. You know, I was just saying to Presh just now about things. What goes on within us can be magnified through other people. Well, that's nice when it's then when our configuration is relatively easeful. When we're still in process, it's not enjoyable to have that magnified through other people. And so I'm seeing it's going to be a little while. Now, I'm sure if you're on here, you attend other people's readings, and I'm sure you do that. So please ask them. But honestly, from what I'm seeing here, I wouldn't recommend a relationship for you for a couple of months here. I'm saying that in the most constructive way. I hope you take it as such. This is not, it's not lost time. It's not wasted time. It's actually time where the ground within you becomes tilled and fertile for someone. Please see it in that way. Okay. All right. Jenilyn. All right, I'm going to read for you, Jenilyn. Now I'm going to do a general reading for you, and I'm going to ask, please. This is just one of those days. The energy is not helping me with general readings and vagueness now, because we're still in this full moon period. So, can I have specific questions? Can I have direct questions for the rest of this session, please? For you, Jenilyn, I will do it, but I would like direct questions, please. Because please understand that what I tune into when I'm asked a vague question is vagueness, right? So it's just taking me longer to swim through, and the energy of today, this blue moon, it's just not helpful, okay? And I hope you understand. But anyway, Jenilyn. Okay, so Jenilyn, I want to talk to you about how you handle opportunity. Let's say I was to literally give you $10,000 right now, and you're like, "What's the catch?" I'm like, "No, $10,000. Here you go," and off I go. And you have $10,000. What do you do with $10,000? Do you go, okay, I'm going to just put that in the bank for a while and just get a feel for what the best use of that is, whether it's long term, whether I do something in the house, holiday, whatever. I'm just gonna let that be for a bit. Can you do that, or do you immediately rush to, I have to do something with this? It is burning a hole in my hands, and what if I do something wrong? And do you see that you got the same opportunity, but two entirely different ways of handling it? And above, around, and all of that, you got spirit saying, we just want to support you. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you need. Underneath that, Jenilyn, is the subject of, do you trust yourself? Will you trust yourself? Will you trust yourself? I hope you answer that question with the word yes, right? Yes. And you show yourself that you trust yourself by taking longer with things, by having more patience, by giving things more time, by looking at things as they actually are, as opposed to what you wish they were or think they should be. All right. And then you do the best thing with the opportunities that get presented to you. Okay. If I could distill that down to one sentence, it would be, take a beat, take a pause, take a breath. Whenever you see yourself, give this a couple of days. When you see yourself rushing to immediacy for anything, slow down there. Right. Okay. So I'm looking over at YouTube here, and I'm so embarrassed because you told me who you are a bunch of times, but I've forgotten again. Looking at the name, Magnet to Love. Tell me, is this Kathy? I'm sorry, but tell me who you are, because I don't like talking to a random handle. And also, I'd like a direct question. So I'll come back to you on YouTube, and I'm going to go back to Facebook now. Michelle, we close on our house Friday. Fantastic. Any guidance for our actual move or settling in over the next month? Michelle, with both of those, congratulations, by the way, seeing you're totally ready for this move. With regard to both your questions, because you've asked about the move and then you've asked about settling in, and oh, I almost want to say the same as I just said to Jenilyn to you, to go easy, take this slow. When you see yourself going, it's got to be like this, and we've got to have it done by then. My God, pull right back. You are moving into the right place at the right time. No question there. Let the move be what it's going to be. What we forget to do sometimes is visualize ourselves there. It's some of the oldest type of guidance there is. See yourself at the finish line, past the finish line. Okay. I do see that being a tiring process. I do see it being tiring to move in. Get your rest. What can be done in 2 days, don't try and squeeze into one. That sort of thing. Okay. That sort of thing. It's a bigger move than you might think. And although a lot's gone into the early part of this, I can see there's a reasonable amount going into the latter part. You have the benefit of time, though, this time. As in terms of settling in a whole other way, give yourself time. Not everything's got to be put in rooms, closets, painted, fixed. No. I kind of fell into that trap a bit moving in here. Got to get it all done in the first couple of weeks and months. No. Remember, you are moving into a place for years to come. You guys being in there is the culmination of, well, I don't know how long, but quite a long process. What happens next is the adjustment. Give yourself longer than you think. I want to say like 3 months. 3 months to really adjust to being in there. And of course, hey, you got the kids on summer break. I'm sure it is as well. So I hope you get the gist of what I'm saying. But to give yourself time, it is a nuts and bolts thing. You do have to get from there to there. You do have to get stuff out of there into there. But it's the way that you do it. My name is Shab. Okay, it's so funny. I thought it's so funny. All right. So I'm back to YouTube now. Can I have a general message on what is important that I know right now, please? All right. So Shab, I did ask for a specific question. I'm going to hold to that because I have already said on here a couple of times about being clear with boundaries. Okay. And I'm not being hard there, but boundaries are what they are. And I'm going to ask for a direct question from you. Please, thank you. And I'll go back to Facebook and I will come back to you when you have given me it. Shakti. Hello, Joshua. Was I accurate about Rita being two-faced? Did I make the right decision to distance myself from her? Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, there is more to it than that. There's more to it than that. I would, Shakti, I would ask that you. I feel that perhaps I don't have the right to say this to you, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to ask you to be a bit bigger than that. I'm going to ask you to go a bit deeper than that because I feel you can do better, right? I feel you can do better than saying someone's two-faced, right? Not saying they're not. I think that's how it showed up. But I feel like you could look at her and see that she is protecting something. And I'd like you to understand her from that perspective. My reason why is not to get at you or be critical. That's not it. It's to release you from this because I see you're still kind of connected and you're still angry and the judgment from that. And we all judge. Okay. And so, okay, judgment is fine, but we want to release ourselves from that. You want to release her from you and you from her. So please understand there is a withholding which makes her behave in that way. A fear of losing something makes someone behave in that way. If you can understand it from that perspective, you understand she is a person, she is a soul just as you. Okay. Did you do the right thing to distance yourself from her? Yes, I would say so. But just because someone's not in your immediate vicinity or not in your circle does not mean you have disconnected from them. Right. And if I'm going to go back to YouTube here, Shab. Yes. What action is wise to take on my career path at this moment? Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Nothing looks simple, does it? Right, right. I want to just take you through what I've looked at. It's because I've looked at a few different things. I looked at, well, first of all, you choosing a specific path. I don't like that. I looked at you waiting. I don't like that either. What actually I like the best for you here is looking at and I very rarely give this type of guidance. So it is what I'm seeing here. As someone once said to me, it is a numbers game. Make your options, give yourself a lot of options here, okay? There's the idea we'd love to think that our career path is this narrow path. I just continue down this. I don't think that's the case for any of us. You having a lot of options, several of which you would do, seems to do the best for you. I see your path actually as incorporating like 3 or 4 of those, and that's the path. That's the path, and that looks really good. That looks really good. And so I support your question, support everyone's question, but I support your question because you know you have to do something different now, right? So without letting the grass grow beneath your feet, it's seeing the options that get presented to you and then giving energy to several of them. That is unusual advice. Usually I would be told to forge ahead, or to wait, or to be focused. But that is not what I'm seeing here for you. You do well by spreading your options wide and having several options. All right, let's go on. Let's go on. Let's go on. Erica. Good to be able to listen to you again. Off for the summer. Super. It's been a really rough 2025 and the beginning of 2026 financially. I'm sorry to see that. Sorry to hear that. Will things get better starting this summer? Okay. My first answer is yes, Erica. I just want to go a little deeper into it. Yes. Lovely. Yes. So I'm confident with my yes there. And it's great that you're asking for support, right? It's not that it's me, it's just great that you're asking for it. Lean into asking for support, right? From that which supports us. However you believe that, and whatever you trust and believe in terms of spirit and love in that respect. So yes, I do see things improving. I'll just remind you that things don't just improve, right? There is a partnership with that, and that will come in the form of do that, do that, do that. And while you do that and do that and do that, other things happen in the background. And then you see things starting to improve. Okay. But you've got your steps to take. Okay. You've got your steps to take. And when things improve and as things improve, know it's because you're taking those steps while other steps are being taken with you. Okay. Simone. Really would like a reading. I am down on life, but really actively trying. Could you please let me know about my love and work life? Yes. briefly then, Simone, and I'm sorry it's been a challenging time. With regards to love life, it's not that there are not options. I do see that they are. But I see you look at the options when they come and you think, well, he's a little immature and so on. And honestly, my take on you and where you are at right now is I don't feel you are at the place for a relationship at this exact time. It's never what I want to say to someone. I have said it to someone already this session. I just don't see that that's where your mind is at. I think you want that, right? But I don't think it's where your mind's at right now. I feel like you're saying that because you think you should say that, but I don't think it's where your mind is at. Now, work though, work looks like it is really going in the right direction. I think you're going to get some pleasant surprises. That's how I want to put it. And to the extent that I want to say, be ready for that, be prepared for that. What does it say? They say, luck is the intersection of preparation and opportunity. Something comes along and we're ready for it. That's how I see work. Okay. And again, if I look at both your questions, that seems to be the priority for you. Like real priority. I see more of you in that. I see more of you in that and preparedness for it. And I think when that resolves itself for you in the way that you want it to, I think the love life will as well. Right. Let's go on. Jamie. Joshua is wondering if you see. I'm wondering if you're seeing, if you feel an outcome for my children and I. We have court coming up July 20th and nervous. I get you. Get you. Okay. Okay, Jamie, outcome that I'm getting here really for the most part is really good. It's really good. I'm not seeing absolutely everything going exactly how you want it to go, but I see it going vastly better than you think it will. Okay, did I just make sense there? Let me talk in numbers then. I'm seeing the outcome being like 75, 80% good, how you'd want it to go. There's that 20% that I'm about. You know, it is a negotiation of a process, isn't it? Right. But let me, if I could just leave you with that distillation, that I see it going a lot better than you think it's going to go. Right. And I have a question over here on YouTube, Twin Soul 752. Can you tell me anything about my future spouse, please? Well, first of all, I do feel like there will be a future spouse. It's not something I would say to everyone. And I don't know how long you've been on this session today, but I've had to impart some some really direct guidance that's not been, I think, what people have wanted to hear, but it is anyway. But yes, I do see there being a future spouse for you. Although it's obviously going to be a grown adult, I get this feeling of youthfulness about them. Youthfulness. Not that they aren't a mature person, that's there as well, but it's like it's almost like, oh, when the depth comes, when the directness comes, it is there. Someone that will not just fight for you, but on behalf of you. On behalf of you. Sometimes when I do a spread like this, and I really would prefer not to have this question all the time, but it's fine. When I'm asked this question, sometimes I will get physical characteristics, but that's not what I'm really getting today. Not that much. Not that much. More getting a sense of the person, and when we meet the person or the person for a while, right? I think we do know them by the feel. I don't think we know them by looks or attractiveness in that respect. We know them by the feel and how we feel. And so walk with that in mind. Someone that is very youthful in their nature, playful in their nature, lightful. That's not a word, but it is now. Whatever. And really just bring light to where they go and what they do and who they talk to, and then they can get very focused and show their depth. And if you've ever been to a coral reef, ever swum at a coral reef, very interesting experience, because you got all the beautiful activity going on, and then you get a sense of this huge massive depth where there's a drop off into the ocean, and like, oh god, my god, thunderous depth there. And that's the sort of person I'm getting the sense of. All right, I'll do it for time. All right, let's see, Lisa, what action should I take to create more financial abundance at this time? And then I'll go on to Rhonda. I'll answer you next. Okay. Your question, Lisa, is actually a response. It's not a. Your question is a response. It's not actually the question. Fun enough, I feel you have been spoken to. You have been asked by Spirit. How, we want to help you. We want to help you. We want to help you, and so you're answering that call. I hope this makes sense, because I'm just seeing so much support out there for you. I'm about to answer your question, but I want to come in through another door, because someone else could ask this question and the answer would be, get organized. You're too disorganized, right? You're leaking energy, right? That's not the case here. Someone else that's disorganized or hoarding or whatever, becoming more organized gives them that's a huge tenet of abundance and growing abundance. But that's not what yours is. That's not what yours is, Lisa. Yours is activity. Yours is having fun. And I don't mean going around being irresponsible and stupid. I mean bigger energy, bigger. Okay, bigger. in with all of that, you have the cognizance of that's what I want to happen there and there and there, but you only see that when you're walking in the world in a kind of bigger way, in a happier way. I have to make myself do things with levity. I have to choose to. I have to actively make myself dance and go outside and play video games, because otherwise I just stay entrenched in the same, like work, because I like working. I'm good at it. It's familiar to me, but I have to loosen myself up. I have to make my field bigger. I have to do enjoyable things, and that puts me in a more receptive space. That's what it is. That's what it is. Rhonda, going through a tough spell mentally. Gosh, people going through hard times. I'm sorry, guys. Today, super overwhelmed. Can you give me some clarity? Yes, of course. Right, Rhonda, this seems to all be about doing things incrementally. Let's say you wanted to, I'm going to try and give you an example here. Let's say you wanted to walk 100 miles. Well, that's a step at a time. It's a step at a time. You might, in your mind, think of mile by mile by mile. Right? It's incremental. I've done this, so now I can do this. I've done this, I can do this. Breaking things down to a smaller way helps things become manageable, and you can go the distance. And so in your mind and your heart, you're like, well, I don't think I'm ever going to feel different now. That's why just little bit by little bit, what can you do tomorrow? Because just let today be today. What can you do tomorrow to bring things forward, to move things forward, incrementally, little things? Then you can say to yourself, to heart, to God, whatever it is, you can say, I showed up for me, I did, right? What you've dealt with what you need to deal with today, and that moves it forward. Because if I was to show you the spread that I'm looking at here, and I can't pick it all up, it's just small things again and again and again and again, to stop thinking about things in such a big way. Sometimes it's strange doing this because giving guidance and sharing guidance, it totally depends where someone is on the scale of polarity, and remembering balance is to come into balance. Sometimes we need to push from there, and sometimes we need to push from there. Someone could ask me the same question, and I would get an answer like, I've already said to someone today, think about the outcome, go there. But not for you here, Rhonda. You are being led in the right direction. Of that, I promise you. And as my mother says, think about the day-tight compartment. What can you do today? What can be done today? And then I see you getting somewhere. And yeah, I see you getting there. Denise, hi Joshua, do I need to look for a new job, or is my current one secure? Okay. I encourage you to look for a new job, Denise. I don't see things as secure at your current job. I hope that does not concern you that I share that. I find when I'm called to share guidance like that, it's because a new solution a new opportunity is being is going to be presented, right? Oh, did I miss someone? Okay, Denise. Lulu, my 15-year-old Shih Tzu, got a death sentence from the vets a week ago, but she seems to be improving a little. Could she be in remission? I've been so devastated over losing her on top of everything else I'm dealing with, trying to sell my home, packing and moving. Oh, Denise, yeah. Okay. Well, Denise, I'm sorry that's not the news I have to share from this angle. I'm delighted she's doing better, but I'm not seeing an improvement. I'm not seeing an improvement that would go against what the vet is saying here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm aware you're going through a lot there. Yeah. All right. Well, that's everyone's questions I can see here. Let me just say, everyone was still watching. I don't think I can remember a session like today where so many people are having a challenging time, and I'm sorry. This is why I do this. I do this to be of support to people that are having a challenging time, and see if we can lift things up a little bit. I really do. That's why I do this. And at the same time, I'm only human, and it's difficult to see people going through a tough time. And you have my sympathy and my empathy, and all that I can give through this. But I always like to just finish by suggesting we all take a breath. And as we take a breath, because humanity is all connected as one, we take a breath. We support those who are short of breath right now, who cannot see options and are feeling lost, and we take a breath for them. Allow them to have a space of clarity, to see themselves and their mind from a different way. We say a prayer for this country, we say a prayer for the world. A blessing for each of you, for everything you need and everything you want, and we say thank you. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. And I am aiming to do some sound healing on Saturday morning on here. There's more to say, but I'll say it another day. Love to you all. Take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you again soon.